Hello there. My name is Virginia. Thank you for coming to the Art of the Oracle. I haven't done a 3-card pick a card reading in a while, and I, kind of sat in meditation. I really wanted to do one, but I wasn't exactly sure what the direction I was going to go in. There's so many different areas that we could tap into to get information. And what I heard was astral reading. And I thought, well, I'm not even sure what an astral reading is. And there's astrology and all kinds of things. And so I looked up, just what does it mean when something is astral? And it's really about bringing in information from non-physical realms, things that could encompass the stars and could encompass any type of psychic or spiritual information. And so I thought, okay, well, that sounds pretty exciting. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to ask for information from the astral plane. And I've got a variety of different oracle cards that I'm going to use today, along with the ones that I've been using all week to kind of guide us in. So I'm going to start the reading. These are Raven oracle cards, and let me see if I can find the box for this one. It's by Gabi Bucher, and I was, on vacation. I was out, and I was very pleasantly surprised to find this beautiful place. So there is pile one. This beautiful, and there's number 2, this beautiful place to stay. And they had these cards. And so I felt like, okay, so I think this one is the next one that wants to come up. And I found them really exciting. So I thought, I'm going to get them. And then I forgot all about them. And I recently saw them in a store and went ahead and picked them up. So this is where our readings are going to begin, where each one of them is going to have a divine crow message. And with the first one, I'll let you see the image here of the crow gathering what looks like a nut there. Very cool. And then I found a little lapis stone. And so the lapis stone is going to bring in, the chakras related to that, which would be around communication or possibly your third eye, bringing you clarity. So that's what the energy is going to come in for the first one. The second one is, it's funny because it looks like a raven on a golf ball or something. So this is for the second reading, and then I'm going to bring in this rose quartz heart. And the energy of the rose quartz, most people do know that it kind of brings in love, but it can also be a releaser of emotion. So that's the crystal coming in for that one. And then this one has got, like 3 little feathers on it. And I'll read in more detail what the cards say when we move forward. And then this one is the hematite cube. And, hematite is, grounding energy, but it also helps reduce inflammation, but it can energize the mind. So it has a variety of different aspects to it to bring in that energy. So I'm going to leave this for a few seconds here for you to kind of tap in and see what energy that you are relating to. And then I will be back with your individual readings. Welcome back, pile number 1. So the card that you chose, it's really, I love that all of these have this, this triangle image. And this one is, I don't know if they all point up, I don't think they do, but this one says you are provided for, you will be sustained. And this is information I'm tapping into information in all realms, in astral realms, which could include, you know, spiritual beings, star beings. Whoever would like to come forward with some information today is welcome. We are all protected and guided through this reading. And the crystal that we're bringing forward is the lapis lazuli. And this crystal helps aid in communication and clear thinking. And I think it's a wonderful way to start the reading. The second oracle deck that I've decided to bring in to continue with the birds is this Divine Feather Messenger. So the raven is telling you that you are provided for and you will be sustained. And it's got these wonderful little, you know, bird feathers that bird tracks that kind of walk through the cards. And the raven is a very big bird. And so when you see it on the ground, it's quite impressive and much larger than you really think it is. They're very, very large birds. I think probably about a 4 to 6 feet wingspan. So, when you think, if you're sitting in this reading and you're going, okay, where is this going? What is the thing that you would like more than anything that would make you feel really comfortable and provided for, and that, you know, there wasn't any worry? A lot of it has to do with money, but sometimes it has to do around relationship, and sometimes it has to do around a sustainable career, or you know, just health, anything like that. So the cards that I'm bringing in from the Divine Feather Messenger for pile number 1, okay, I didn't even have to finish the sentence. And what came out for pile number 1 is the heron. And it says, let go of convention and follow your own unique path. So I love heron energy because it's water energy for me. And I lived in Florida for a number of years and had just a great love for herons of all different shapes and sizes, and they do come in so many. And this is an image here of the blue heron. And there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of information around the blue heron, but the blue heron is obviously a very, it's a very large bird. And it's mostly, when you see these blue herons, is that you see them alone. And the fact that it's telling you to let go of convention and follow your own unique path isn't surprising, because sometimes, I think the reason why these two cards came out together is sometimes when we're on a path that is a little bit less traveled, we're afraid of it, you know, providing for us. Like we might feel a little bit more vulnerable than most, because we're kind of trailblazing, right? We're creating our own path. So this card is, and the message here is, if you're considering going out and going down a road less traveled, this is suggesting to kind of trust and follow your heart. Because this man, the card here is really encouraging you to be unique. And in the beginning, you know, you might be a little bit unsteady, but, you know, these long legs are, you know, they may not look like much, but they really, this guy can really stand in these sandy waters, and when the waters are coming, and really be in control of where he's going and how to get the fish. So I think what these two cards, and I'm gonna pull out some cards from the dragons, but I think that if this is, you know, something that resonates with you, then this very well could be a reading, because this is really about being reliant on yourself and going into an area that is less traveled. And, you know, maybe you're not the type, maybe you're in a job that you feel, you know, that you just don't have any control over, and it doesn't feel harmonious to you. You feel a little bit out of sorts, and you're just afraid. And you know, deservedly so. And I'm not telling you to quit your job, but what the information that's coming through is just be true to your heart. And maybe you can start off slowly. But the heron is really bringing in the energy to kind of go it in a different and unique way. So not to judge what's coming through and what is, you know, it may seem like a crazy idea to you or friends or both, but to look at the world and kind of see how you can make a real difference going forward in a heart-based way. So the next deck that I'm going to bring in is for the love of dragons. And I did this, I think it was last week that I did daily readings. So I'm going to ask for dragon messages. Okay, 2 of them came out here to continue the information for this astral reading. And I love that the 2 cards came out here is 21, the Sunstormer, and then the Watcher. And in the Sunstormer, it's kind of bringing out that energy of movement and wanting to illuminate and create change. So you can see where this is going. It's really encouraging you to do that. And then you got 3, which is the Watcher, asking you to look at things from a higher perspective. So if you're looking at this, it's really interesting because you've got the water energy, you've got air energy here, you have fire energy, and then, you know, more air energy over here. But there's also some earth energy because this kind of looks like a rock, like a carved dragon energy. So the energy coming in for this great movement that it's asking you to consider, it's not asking you to do something outside of who you are. So anytime, you know, you have a card reading that is telling you to go in a direction that feels completely wrong, then it's not the message for you. But if you're looking for guidance and understanding because you've got this thing going on, maybe it's you got a push-pull going on in your body, in your mind, and you really just want like some guidance, you know, our friends are wonderful opportunities to give us information and guidance. But sometimes when you go into, you know, an outside source, they're not loaded with information already about you, and they're not loaded with, you know, information coming from where, you know, they're projecting on you, because this is a very general reading and I don't really have any information on you. All this is information to give to you, and then take what feels right, and then, you know, whatever doesn't feel right, then it's not right for you. But if I'm, you know, continue with the flow of what the reading is bringing, is it's asking you to consider to follow your heart. If it's looking to go in a direction that feels a little wobbly for you, it's just asking you to consider it. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to kind of to put your toe in the water here and there, just to see if it's a direction. And I really believe that when things were meant to happen, that, you know, you kind of see almost like doors opening for you. And I feel like as we move through this age and what's coming to be is less traditional ways of earning money, less traditional ways of just being in the world. I feel like there are so many people with, like me, I feel like I'm a jack of all trades. I've done a little bit of everything from traditional like accounting and auditing work to art. And then I owned a gallery, and now I'm working with intuitive energies. But I feel like everything, every, you know, space that I have held has been so very different from the other that it may seem a little crazy. And I've asked myself at times, like, why do I have all these things going on? So I think that that's where we're moving. I don't think I'm alone in this. I think a lot of people have so much knowledge and information about a variety of things. And the Sunstormer here is bringing about, you know, energy for abundance. So if you're looking to, you know, go in a different direction, this energy is kind of flowing, saying that, you know, go that way. It's really interesting that I find these 2 cards kind of staring at this, you know, winged dragon. She's got 2 small dragons here, and it's asking you to allow yourself to feel the radiance of the sun and to shine yourself brightly and allow this energy to come forward, and then you will move forward in a state of abundance. So if it's something that you're considering and you just want some information, and you've stumbled on this reading, you know, it may be I'm telling you that this is saying, go out, blaze your own trail, stick your toe in the water, see, you know, if it's something that you could possibly do. You don't have to quit or drop completely what you're doing, because we are all doing so many things now. I feel like it's how we're growing. So the third card here is the Watcher. And this one is really about the perspective. So I think what it's asking you to do is that if this is something that you've been looking at, is that take a higher perspective. Don't stand down here and muddle through like some of the things, you know, that you're maybe feeling the, you know, push-pull of what it is that you're considering, but go higher, go within, trust yourself. Others are only going to, you know, come at you from where they are, and they're going to, I'm sure, come at you with love. But ultimately we, you know, create our own path, and, you know, we have to account for all of our decisions. So the next deck that I'm going to bring in is what I've been doing this week, which is Earthly Souls and Spirits, Moon Oracle. I thought that might be appropriate as we're doing this reading. So these two cards just kind of fell out for you. And this one is Rejoice, which she looks a lot like this one. It's a lot of the same energy. And it's really interesting because both of these cards, what they're bringing in is light and love and radiating this fire energy, and abundance. So radiant is kind of like another abundant energy. So what this is, you know, rejoice in, let me pull these up a little bit. Rejoice in the space of where you are, and allow your body to sing with, you know, enthusiasm about what possibilities could be. And then as you move forward, I feel like that the universe is just offering you just abundant, you know, there's a lot of, there are 3 owls here in this reading. And this, you know, we started off with the raven energy, and then, you know, flew into heron and this water energy. And it really opened up the idea that this could be an unconventional path. But this is all about abundance and saying that, you know, that you're going to be provided for. The Sunstormer is saying that as well. And then when you look at the 2 cards here with radiance and all this wisdom, I feel like what I'm hearing is that you kind of know what it is that you're wanting to do. And you're really, it's not like you're just, you know, I feel like you already feel this, like a deep knowing within you already. So this is more than just a, you know, I'm gonna try to be a this, that, or the other thing, a painter or something else, and you've never painted before. No, you have. You've been painting for years, and now you're considering doing it full time, that kind of thing. But you're going and doing something that's never been done before. Whatever it is, it really feels that that there's going to be a lot of opportunity to rejoice in who and where you are, and what's coming through with this card is really success and, you know, reaching new heights. And, you know, what the card of Rejoice says that. But I love that we're getting so much. So if you're seeing lots of owls, I feel like it is like this energy that's coming through the astral plane, giving you this imagery of the owl, telling you that, you know, you're moving forward in wisdom. Don't doubt your own wisdom. Don't doubt your own heart. Don't doubt your ability to do this, because you are illuminated and guided through these steps, through this deep, abundant, radiant energy that's coming through. And I feel like it's bringing you into a space of, almost like what I'm seeing is like when you light a candle, when you make that spark, right? And it goes, tsh, and then the flame comes. And I feel like that's where you are right now. Tsh, you are ignited, and all you have to do is trust and move forward, because you have wisdom in what you're doing, and you have a lot of beautiful things to offer the world. So we're going to go with the last one here is, I've got a variety of cards that I've brought out here. The Light Seers Tarot. So I thought that might be interesting. I really love this deck. It has a lot of really feminine energy, I feel like, in here, and in the imagery that they produced on this deck. So let's have some additional information. I feel like this card wanted to come out. And this is the Page of Wands. And again, Wands is about the fire energy coming forward. So when you're looking at doing something, it's a great card to have because it's about bringing something into creation. And this card is new energy, right? I feel like, has the universe, and she's dancing with the universe with this new opportunity of creation. So what is the additional? I feel like this one wants to come out as well. So this one is about Pentacles. And Pentacles is more about earth energy. It's about everything that we bring down into physical form. And this is suggesting that you have an opportunity to move this forward and to be able to work with others in doing this. And perhaps you already are. Perhaps this is showing you that there are people that around you that are thinking, wow, yeah, I want to be a part of that. I want to come with you on this new journey. And it looks like, at least if you're considering this, that is an opportunity. The energy is there for you to be able to create and work with others. What else would like to be shown? So this is an interesting card to come in because this one opens up kind of like that heart energy. And with the cups, the Six of Cups is when you're thinking about the past, right? When you're thinking about maybe you tried something in the past and it didn't work. And so that energy is part of this somehow, or maybe that you wish somebody else would have come forward with you. But it's not a bad time. It's just, we all put obstacles in our way that could stop us from doing the thing that we really want to do. And this is kind of bringing in that energy where a little bit of nostalgic, and it could pull you away from this fire, go, go, go energy. But it's never bad to have heart-based energy. I feel like what I'm getting from this is that maybe this is something that you've wanted to do since you were very young. I'm not getting, a regret really from this. I'm getting that, they've got this young guy, and because it's on the top and it's showing me itself very, very clearly, that it's really about the energy of being who you truly are. And, when we were children, we had, there wasn't judgment around what we did, unless it was by others, because we were, just kind of free beings, and we did whatever, felt good at the time. And so I feel like that's what this card is now that you've reached a point where you're a little bit older, that's kind of what it is this something that you've really dreamed about for a long time? So the energy is telling you to go for it. Let's see if we can get some more information about this new project or energy moving forward and creating. It's so funny because I keep getting, normally a lot of cards will jump out, and then this is just giving me like these cards that want to jump slightly. So the energy that's coming out, to kind of sum up where we are, is the Ten of Wands is what happens when you're at the end. So I feel like this is like maybe you were at the end of a burden and things, now you have help. So it's like she's not carrying it all alone. She's kind of walking through, she sees where she's been, and that kind of feels like it really flows from this card here, is that maybe you've been through a lot of stuff and you've done a lot of things that may or may not have been you, but you now you have help in either your thinking or where you're going, or if it's not there, I feel like it's coming in and an ending to where you were. And then we have the Five of Cups, which the Five of Cups to me is a little bit about regret. It's about letting go of the past. You can see she's got all these empty bowls. She's sitting here in the dark by herself, but she's got one left over here. She's kind of just letting it all go. She's in a little bit of an apathetic state. And maybe, from this, maybe you're a little tired and a little worn from the path that you've been taking, and you have a little bit of regret about where you've been, but that energy is more of a slow moving energy. And so this energy around what it is, the direction that you're wanting to go, is all fast moving energy. So I feel like what these last cards are doing are asking you to really put down some of these old energies, because you have the best card in the deck, which is the Star. And I love this Star energy because it's really, I feel like it's a divine illumination, a divine spark, like I was talking about earlier with a light. And that when this card comes out in a reading, it's illuminating the entire reading. So you have illumination throughout this reading. And lastly, the last card is the Ace of Cups. And that tells me that you're moving in this direction. And even though you feel a little, maybe like, all these burdens are going, you're going to look back and wonder maybe why you didn't do it sooner. But you have the Star energy, the radiance, the ability to rejoice. And you have the Ace of Cups, which is all about being in heart-spaced energy and really moving forward from an open heart and a space of love. So pile number 1, thank you for being here for this astral reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it gives you some insight as you move forward. I wish you all the luck in the world. And if you have any interest in a private reading, you could reach out to any of the links that I have on my YouTube channel. And until next time, bye now. Pile number 2, welcome back to the reading. You've chose the card here that has a really interesting saying on it. So I'm just going to read it out to you. He kind of looks like he's on top of a golf ball, which is really fun. It says, something dead can become food for others. The cut corn, the slaughtered beast. Respect what has died and help to transform it by ingesting it with awareness and thanks or gratitude. Let the wheel of life keep turning. And then you have love. So I kind of feel like that this has something to do with love or a relationship, because, the energy here, it's about love, but it's also about releasing emotional stress and attachments to things. So when you're, we're going to draw the cards and see where it's going to go from this. But what I'm getting from this, and it's very clearly said with the Raven, is that, so the reason why I think it's saying to respect what is no longer there, because sometimes our brain can tell us all these stories about what we should have done or what they should have done or how it could be different or what would have happened if this, that, or the other thing. And then all it does is keep that energy around. When something has died and it is, what this is saying is let the wheel of life keep turning. There's a natural, when death occurs, there's a natural opening for life again. So I think what this card is saying is that with your ability to kind of digest what happened here, that it'll leave an opening for something else to come in. And all relationships are here for the betterment of us, even the bad ones. I've had my fair share, so I'm not coming from a Pollyanna view where, all relationships are amazing. But I do believe that all relationships, especially the ones that were really challenging, bring about the most growth within you. So that's what I believe that this is going to. And so let's draw from the Divine Feather Messengers. That's what we're going to ask for the second bit of information here. So tell us some more information about what it is that needs to be let go of. Whoa, wow. Okay. So that one flew high in the sky the second I said that, which tells me that it's really a divine, I get a lot of cards that jump. And so whenever I get them, especially if they're really high, it's just, there's something very important, I feel like, in this message. And this one says, step forward now and sing your song. There is power in finding your voice. And perhaps that, you're a little bit uneasy right now. Like you've been in this situation that and all this stuff is kind of maybe falling around you, or something has died. But this little yellow canary is asking you to find your song. I feel like the energy that I'm getting is that you had this amazing song. And then something came in and maybe they, stifled your song, or maybe they said your song was wrong, or that you should be singing a different song, or whatever it is, that I'm feeling that you kind of changed, and that maybe you might be in a space where you're not even exactly sure what your song is anymore. And when that happens, I think that the universe is just telling, and especially with this card, is just sing. That sometimes, it's not bad necessarily to try other things. Sometimes we give more credit to others as opposed to ourselves when we don't trust who we are, and we don't trust in our heart and our own song, and people give us their ideas and we believe them. So I feel like this is saying, it's time for you to let your song be sung again, and that you're very unique, you're very loving. This yellow energy is about the solar plexus, about allowing your true light to shine. So I think it's asking you to, what is it that you want to sing? What do you want to express? It doesn't have to literally be a song. But when you're looking at the solar plexus chakra, it's that outward energy of light. Where are you radiating? Where are you putting that light into the world? What is expressing out of you? So let's draw some additional cards. And let me see where I went. So the second batch of cards that I brought in were the, I have so many decks right here. For the Love of Dragons. So this was a really fun deck. I did some, wow, this is a very powerful reading, and these cards are really flying out. And so the card that came out for this is the Giver, and it's card number 36. And so what I'm seeing here is that, so there are these beautiful little yellow apples that are kind of mimicking this yellow energy that's coming out. And this is a tree, it's full of fruit, and these almost look like golden apples, like the golden color of the canary. And it says the Giver. And I feel like, because her heart is expressed forward, I feel like, and this has a little bit of a spiral energy here, is that there is an opportunity for you to give in some way through the power of your voice. Whether it's some sort of communication, or maybe somebody's going to bring in some communication to you. That's very possible as well, that your the information that's coming through could come to you in the form of, a message, a divine message. This is about astral readings, and what is the information that's coming through. And it can come from a lot of different places. And I think that through this green energy, though, is taking me right to your heart. It says whatever the information that's coming through is something that you're going to really feel very strongly with your heart. And you're going to be able to radiate that out. So in the Giver, and to having this card here, it's really asking you to understand this kind of reciprocity thing, this give and take. And a gift isn't a gift if you expect something in return. And I don't know if this energy that we're letting go of here kind of put you in a space where you didn't feel that you could receive without racking up some sort of debt. But this card is showing that you can receive. Not every energy is like that. And when people, there are two people in a situation, and especially in a loving relationship, which is kind of what this is feeling like. And even though sometimes we feel very victimized, it's almost like we put ourselves sometimes in situations to help us grow beyond that situation. And so perhaps this situation led you into something that is showing you and being more aware of your song, who you are, what it is that you're bringing out into the world. And the understanding that, there's a natural reciprocity in everything. The apple comes forth after, the flower blooms and dies. So the fruit isn't there until after a transformation comes. But the fruit comes after these different stages. And through this, let the wheel of fortune keep turning, I feel like that's exactly what it's saying, is that something is going to come of all of this that happened. So if I go to the guidebook, it says this, and in this moment on the wheel has turned towards giving. So it's interesting that we started off at saying, let the wheel keep turning. And sometimes we feel like we don't have anything left, like we can't give. But I think this card is saying that you do have more to give, and that you also can receive. That what can you give away that is an offering from the fullness rather than sacrifice from emptiness, is what the card is asking. It says, this is an act of conscious giving to have filled up your own cup of belonging and empowerment so that you overflow and that you have more to offer. So I think that's why this canary card came in, is that when the bird sings with this fullness of who it is, there's plenty to give. That song it's like a perpetual song of giving. I don't know what's going on outside. Lots of energy going on out there. So I'm going to draw some more cards, and we're going to take a peek at what additional energy is coming out. So we've got the next deck of cards is what I've been reading all this week, which is Earthly Souls and Spirit's Moon Oracle. So what is additional information that would like to come forward? What are we releasing, and what is the energy coming forward? I feel like you kind of know. Well, this is a lot that came out. And this one came out in the second deck, and it's it's very similar energy to being in your own power. It's rejoicing and knowing who you are. She's really embracing the moon, and in the middle of the stars, she has the wisdom at her feet. So I feel like she's embodied the understanding of where she is and can now move forward. But she has this luminosity, this ability to sing. And I don't know if singing truly has some aspect to you in this time, but that's what I'm hearing is that it's like I see her singing to the stars. And I think that maybe it's just talking about your voice, about having your voice back and seeing the true you. And then the next card is the fairy tale card. And so there's fairy tale can be loaded, right? We love a good fairy tale. At least I do. I love a good romance. And maybe that this, whatever you're letting go, felt like a romance, or a fairy tale. It was almost too good to be true. But I feel like we need fairy tales, or we need the dream. We need to be able to see possibility. You can get lost in that. So, it'll be unique to you whether or not you feel like it was the fairy tale, or if possibly a new fairy tale is coming in, because the card after it is about being authentic. And so sometimes when, you're in this and you can kind of project your expectations onto others. And when you do that, they never live up to that because it's about you and the things that you're lacking or the things that you feel are important. And it really isn't about the other person when, you project what you feel like is, has to be, right? We don't, a relationship is about allowing reciprocity, this kind of give and take energy, and allowing the other person to shine and allowing you to shine as well. So I think that energy is prevalent around here. But this energy here of rejoicing is a celebration card. And it could be a card celebrating you, or is celebrating your ability to move forward after this time of struggle. When everything is going smooth, it's not that we don't celebrate, but we celebrate less maybe. And so when things come, when we've overcome something, we feel like, okay, so we did it. Let's break out the champagne. And that's kind of what it feels like in the Rejoice card, is that if you're not there yet, I feel like you will be, that you're moving into this, this opportunity to do that. But I'm really, the underlining energy that I'm getting here, and I don't know if it was you and the projection on others through this fairy tale card, and this authentic card. And, you know, this card is mimicking the canary here, because the canary was about following and finding your unique voice. And then that's what the authentic card is. So whether you felt like you were stifled, or whether you stifled somebody else's energy and that you saw what you did later, or that you're reaping this kind of knowing that you kind of brought yourself down, and you're kind of coming into your own seeing of the gifts through this turning of the wheel, the gifts that you received through something that didn't work, shows you what now that you would like moving forward. And whether it's bringing in through this fairy tale a new dream and ability to fly. And perhaps that's what this is that because these are all going in the future, right? And then this is kind of looking at the past. And they're kind of confronting each other. If you look at the cards, you know, this is the past and this is where they are right now. So I kind of feel like this was something that needed to digest it. And by digesting it, it is allowing the ability to understand and really contemplate what your role was in what happened here. And then know that there is reciprocity, that there's relationships with give and take, and you can really rejoice in that. So the fairy tale card is kind of asking you to get lost in that. If you're already lost in it, then you know, it could have been something that depleted your energy by putting too much energy in it. But what I'm feeling, because it's kind of moving in this direction, is that, you know, maybe I'm feeling really like it's a time for you to do that, for you to possibly dream again after a time of not feeling that you could do something or being stifled. Because then when we go into the authentic card, it's really about, you know, what our truth is, who we truly are. And when you're in a relationship, we take on aspects of the other person, of course, and they take on aspects of us, and we take on, but sometimes we give our power away in a way where we are not being authentic or true. So this card has bringing in an aspect of that in some way. I feel like you're bringing in, go ahead and dream, but, you know, dream from this place where you can move forward and sing your song and be truly you. You don't have to become somebody totally different now that you're moving away from this, because that may have been where you were previously, is that you were kind of lost in what seemed like something that wasn't you. So we're gonna go to the Light Seers Tarot. So this is this deck right here, really great deck. I love the energy of it. And ask for some clarifying information about the energy that's coming forward. I see the King of Pentacles coming out, which is all about being grounded in all that you need. So if you're not there yet, the energy is coming through. He knows who he is. He's standing in his truth. He has everything earthly that he desires. And so that has some sort of aspect of what this is. He's a very content and happy energy. And so the Seven of Wands really comes out when, you know, after you've had this energy, and a lot of people maybe have been pointing fingers at you, and you had to go into a little bit of a bubble and find yourself again. And that's why this solar plexus chakra here is being highlighted, like we see here in the canary, is that, you know, perhaps you were here on the top of your game and you thought that you had everything, and then people were just kind of, you know, maybe you were being a little bit misunderstood, and you had to kind of take yourself into a bubble, because she's kind of looking back to the past and what she thought, you know, was. Okay, so yeah. So the Six of Swords come out as well. And this is kind of when you've done a lot of thinking, overthinking, you see a lot of stuff going on and wrong. But this is at the point where it's kind of like just past this midpoint in something where you just let let it go and let yourself be guided a little bit. But you're going to move into a different direction. So that's what the energy of that card is coming in. So I feel like if you kind of felt like you were a little bit attacked, or that you were kind of, everybody was kind of projecting on you, that energy is you're moving out of that energy. So what is the other energy that's coming in? So the two energies that's coming through is the High Priestess. And the High Priestess energy, as you can see here, she has her eyes closed, but she's very aware because she's intuitively understanding who she is, and that the powers and the understanding is not just physical, that you can tap into your divine essence. So that energy is coming in, I think, to encourage you to trust yourself, to take on the wisdom. And then finally, the 7 of, in the major arcana with the Chariot, is coming in here, showing the need for balance as you move forward. So don't rush into something after, you know, feeling like you need a complete and total change. You know, move in, understand this balance and reciprocity, but rejoice in where you've been, sing your song, and you can create this fairy tale. So this is either saying that something is going to come about quickly, or that, you know, it's a time to be aware that the energy is moving very fast for you, and that you could move a little bit too quickly. So just to be aware of this fast energy. I'm going to ask and see if there's any additional information here for pile number 2. Whoop. Okay, so I love this because in the last reading we had an ace as well, and this is about the beginning of a new way of thinking. So, you know, with this sacred spiral and the ability to rise into new information, that's what this energy is going to, is that you're going to start hearing and seeing things in a whole new way. And part of it is because you're going to learn to sing your song again. Something that you may have lost or forgotten is, I believe, coming back to you, and that you're going to have the power of divine understanding and back into who you are. So the astral reading today, I think, is really about letting go of the past and things that don't work. Digest, understand that everything, even if it was painful, more so if it was painful, that there is lessons and information in that. And it teaches you what you don't want, and it teaches you how to move forward towards what you do want, and that you have an opportunity to move forward and create a life that you want. But make sure that you're creating from this authentic self. Don't give yourself away. Don't become too malleable to what others think. Because you have the King of Pentacles here, I feel like that you're going to be fine, that all of the things that you're going to need in this lifetime will be met, that you may still get some heat from, you know, others, but you can, you know, create, you can contain that, and that it's going to be short-lived, and that you're going to move into a new direction. And because that you have, you know, you have these right here at the end, the High Priestess and the Chariot, which are major arcanas, really telling you that you have this energy that's coming in quickly, or could be very quickly. So be aware of it. But I think that things are going to look completely different to you, that you're going to see things in a completely different way. But to begin that, you have to digest. Yeah, it's okay. Think about, you know, it takes time. It takes time to digest it. But don't let it sit there too long. That's what I'm hearing. Don't let it sit too long. Digest it. You'll probably digest it for many years to come. So thank you, pile number 2, for being here. I hope you received some information that helped you on your journey. And until next time, thank you for being here. Bye now. Pile number 3, this reading is for you. So you have chosen the hematite, which is really about grounding, reducing inflammation, but also it can be kind of an energizing stone. And this one is a very balanced hematite in a square. So I find that also relevant somehow to this reading. So the card that you chose says, live your love with all your being, with body, mind, and soul. Hide it no longer. Don't hide it from yourself nor from others. Don't withhold the most precious gift from yourself. Wow, that's kind of exciting. And I'm not exactly sure where we're going from that. Because this is an astral reading and it can come from, you know, star beings or ancestors or information, some sort of spiritual information coming through. And I feel like that this is quite an interesting message to kind of open up to that. So let's dive into the cards and and see what kind of information that we have moving forward. So I have a variety of different card decks that we're going to use today. For the Love of Dragons is one of the oracle decks that I'm using to go along with the Raven oracle deck. And I'm going to ask for what is the information that's coming through. Whoa, for pile number 3. Oh, look at that. So this came flying out. And this was also in another reading. I think this was in, it may have been in all 3 now that I'm thinking about it, because the Sunstormer is really radiating this divine energy of abundance coming forward. This is card number 21, and it's asking you to kind of stand in your power. So this one said, don't hide it from yourself nor from others. Don't withhold your most precious gift from yourself. And we're moving into this kind of abundance understanding with the Sunstormer, but still slowly revealing what this gift is. So if I go a little bit to the guidebook to get this information, what I'm seeing is like they're rejoicing in her. And it's not a blaring energy. She is this soft kind of, it feels like a very feminine energy, but also radiating with abundance. So it says, allow yourself to be filled with radiance and shine like the sun. This is how you will own light and defeat the dark. The earth turns on its axis without help, and the sun shines and makes energy for you to use without any other influence. So what this is kind of leaning towards for me is that opportunities are available for you, and that I don't know if you're not seeing them or you're not taking them, but there is information coming forward that is something, I think something is coming out that is really going to share with you maybe something unexpected. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. So this is the Divine Feather Messenger deck, another oracle deck that we're going to bring in. That's bringing in some more energy of the birds. And I think I brought this one out in the other. Okay, so this one wants to come forward, which is really interesting. I don't think this card has ever come out for me, and it just kind of fell in my lap. I kind of lost control a little bit of the cards, and this one came forward, and I think it's peacock energy. It is. And so what do peacocks do? They are one of the most showiest birds out there. When a peacock opens its tail, everybody stops to watch. And it says, inherent wisdom is emerging at this time. Watch it and ready yourself for a rebirth. Ready yourself for a rebirth. So this is why the energy is not clear. I feel like it says live your love with all your being, and the Sunstormer is asking you to really embody, then radiate the sun and this abundance that's coming into your life. And then we end up with the peacock, which is bringing out this really showy energy. So I don't know if you are a showy person or if you have always felt that you could not show. But the peacock in this card deck is bringing about a rebirth, like it said here, is that watch it and ready yourself for a rebirth, that there is something really emerging. So it can come obviously in many different forms. So we're going to ask the cards to help us to see if we can get some more information. The book says, holding the highest vision for yourself is this gift of this messenger, and finding the wisdom of your soul's long journey home is divine. All right, so that's all pretty exciting. So the deck that we're going to is the one that I've been doing all week, which is the Earthly Souls and Spirits Moon Oracle. Really lovely energy by Terri Foss. And what is this rebirth? What is this energy that we need to be aware of? What is coming forward for pile number 3? Help us with additional information to see this. All right, so 2 cards came out. Oh, look at this. Oh, I love this. I haven't got this one either. This one says luminous. And it's really interesting that, you know, I'm seeing, the first thing I'm noticing here is this tree that is obviously in its hibernation stage. And then coming forth is what happens, you know, when you first see this moth, or this looks like a moth, coming out of its cocoon. And it's just the most magical thing that you can see, is the birth, watching the birth of something. And I feel like this energy is really going forward with all that. And then you have the wish card, which I think came out in today's reading, so that may be relevant for you as well. But it's kind of been out here in a couple of different readings this week. So luminous. So it's really interesting that the energy that's coming through again is like when you see butterflies, they come in all different colors, shapes, and sizes. But this one kind of feels like an understated, which is the opposite of the peacock. But this energy I felt was soft. So it feels like there's a softness, there's an illumination that's coming forward that is really, I believe, just part of your true essence. And it's going to come forward in a really big way to kind of change the idea of who you have thought yourself to be. Or maybe that you know that you're not being your authentic self, and it's no longer to hide it. But this is telling me that there is something really precious and beautiful within you that is wanting to come out at this time. So this journey with this card, yes, is about rebirth and new beginnings. In the book, it says, take a hold of your own spiritual transformation, and that you are really being led toward that transformation. Your intuition and your senses may be heightened to assist you on your path, but it's important to meditate along your journey. This mindfulness will assist you in manifesting what you desire. So envision and express your spiritual movement from your everyday life, moving towards exquisite, that's the word, expansion and connection with the great universe. And I'm really getting this in a big way, that this is it's a divine moment for anyone that was drawn here to this pile number 3, that there is something that is about to birth forward, that you have maybe been, you know, like a diamond, it just is just going to come out, and it's going to be even more than you could have ever imagined yourself to be. And because we have the wish card, and the wish card in this reading, I feel like is the raven, and which we started with the raven and the crow, which is showing this darker side, this mystical side, that things can come forth and can bring about great changes by understanding like the laws of the universe. And with her holding what looks like the moon and the wish in her hand, and perhaps you already know what this wish is. Perhaps you've already put this wish out into the universe, and if you have, I feel like it's coming to you in a big way. But I feel like that this is almost something that's been a part of you forever, maybe through centuries. I'm hearing like many lifetimes, that this thing that's been within you is now birthing. It's your time. It's your time to live this divine wish, this divine being. So if I go to the guidebook, sometimes they have these little quotes, and the quote here says, invite light and hope into your life, be curious, dream, and move forward. Magic is inside of you. So I'm really feeling that. And so I'm going to go to the Light Seers Tarot and get some additional information about. So what do we want to know? This feels pretty magical. It's like I just can't even imagine having the feeling that I have within me is just such a divine feeling and understanding of where this is going, that this is inherently a part of who you are. And this is, I feel like this is what you've been waiting lifetimes for, whatever is coming forward. So let's ask for additional information. Okay, so the first card that came out is the Six of Swords, and this one just kind of jumped out. And in this Six of Swords is about thinking. And the Six is kind of, you know, you've just passed the midway point, and this is about moving in a new direction and letting others help. So let's see what that energy and where we're going with this energy. Okay. And then you have the Two of Wands. So this is when you are, you know, moving in a new direction. So this is bringing you in a new space. And this is about the energy. And maybe you're not quite sure of what you're seeing or where you're going, because the Two is coming at you. She's kind of looking forward. She's planning. She hasn't quite made a move yet. So I feel like the energy is, it's kind of, I feel, so this softness is really coming out in this reading to me, is that this is, I feel like it's just going to emerge like the moth here. It's just going to come forward. And this Two is kind of a slower moving wand. It's at the beginning stages where you haven't quite, but she's looking out and deciding how she's going to do this. But I don't think you're going to have to be here long. So let's see what additional information. Okay, another Two came out. And so this is the Two of Cups. So, and this is about the beginning of, you know, a connection, a heart opening. So you've got two twos. So I feel like there's some sort of divine union coming out here, because you have the 21 is as well here, which gives me a 2 and a 1. Adding to 3, creating this union of like a grounded state and bringing something into higher levels of being. So this Two of Cups is very interesting, because these are very soft, and these were very like powerful words and powerful energy coming through, even though they were coming across in a very soft way. So what additional information? What is this energy coming forward? Okay, so these two cards came out in a previous reading. Both of them in the same reading, and obviously in a different way. And both of these are like the same girl really looking at things that she's kind of letting go. And this one is she's already let go, but she's not quite sure where she's going. But she's just begun in new thinking. And this is new energy as well. So I feel like maybe that this is like you're letting go of something that maybe a darkness, maybe something that you kind of kept hidden, or this, you know, maybe you've got a secret that you're kind of letting go of right now. And you kind of have to let it go before you can move into your glory. So let's see what additional information is coming forward. What is coming forward? Okay, so we have a couple more. And the cards coming out, wow, it's interesting. I have shuffled these cards and I put them all back in different ways, but some of these cards are coming out again. And what we have here is the Knight of Wands, which is bringing about a new energy. She's got this horse in the background, which tells me that things are going to move a little bit faster. You got the Wands, which is all about energy and creation. But then you have the Knight of Pentacles, which is all about bringing things down into earthly form, about having all that you need. He's completely aware of, you know, what he needs or what it took to get here. So I feel like things are going to come out very slowly. You're going to move forward. There's going to be some pairings here that is going to create something. And it's going to allow you to let go of something that you've been holding on to that has kind of kept you like a little heavier than your energy really is inherently all about. Is because I feel like you're, like this said here, don't withhold your most precious gift from yourself, and don't hide it from yourself. It says literally in the middle, hide it no longer. And that's what this card to me is representing, is this thing that you're kind of letting go of, this darkness, this thing that no longer is a part of you, that you've had these lifetimes that you've kind of had this thing. And so she's softly allowing others to help. and then sitting within the understanding that there is a new beginning, and that something or something's going to come in, allowing this to leave and bringing in a lot of new energy to move forward, and that you'll have, like, I just feel like what I'm hearing is that you're just having everything that you need, everything that you desire, everything that you've wanted in this lifetime. Like, it's all going to be worth it. Let's see if there's any additional information coming forward for pile number 3. All right. Oh, wow. Okay, so what you ended up with was the Hermit, which if you look at this, it's a beautiful way to wrap up your reading. So in the Hermit energy, this is the only major arcana card that came out. But interestingly, all of these cards were talking about your divineness, your greatness, yourself as this gem, your luminosity, your ability to rebirth. And then this energy, you know, this is kind of like the, you know, worldly energy, the energy that you have to kind of move through, which is a little bit slower. And I think that the reason why you're still going through this is because of this tiny little thing that you've been holding on to and maybe making it a little bigger than it was. Because this card is mimicking, because this, now that this is gone, this energy is rising, and you're going to be able to meditate, contemplate, to see with a new light this darkness that you kind of kept around you, hiding your most precious gifts, instead of allowing yourself to shine and be the peacock, this beautiful ability to kind of show off, that you felt like maybe you couldn't do it, and maybe you were under the thumb of others, or maybe it's just that you just put a little too much weight. That's what I'm feeling, is you put too much weight on this. And the reason why I keep going to this is because they're very same coloring, but this is a very different, this is a very powerful space. And the 9 is reaching completion, where you finally understand and you have control over, you know, it's the ending. A 10 is the end, the absolute ending, but 9 is where you finally have all that you need in understanding the wisdom of where you've been, and this that it's your time, that you're here in a beautiful divine way, and that you've spent lifetimes getting here, and there is no need, hide it no longer. It's time to open up and show the world. And I feel like this is you right now, as you're coming through all this, as you're realizing that you have this ability, and figuring out, like, how do you go forward. I almost feel like this calmness. I don't know if you're coming through this time, you know, of letting all this go, but there's almost like a calmness and a radiance, and that you're going to receive, just because you have sustained this beautiful aspect of you through many lifetimes. And it's time now to reap the benefits of that. And you'll be sitting on top of the mountain, looking out with great joy and wonder and love and light, in the knowing of you'll be able to illuminate more clearly in what you're putting out into the world, and you'll see more clearly what comes in, and you will not allow yourself to be dimmed again. So thank you so much for being here, pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. If you have not subscribed, I'd love to have you as a follower. I do readings during the week, short readings, and then I try to get a 3-card, pick a card reading out at least once a week. So thank you for being here. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye now.